Vergil, Vergil, Vergil. We all love him, he's so cool. But if we look at him not as fans, but as law-abiding citizens, we're looking at a defendant. Our love for him has overshadowed all his bad deeds, and there are a huge number of them. One particular scene in the 5th game lifted that veil from my eyes and made me want to create this video.
In separating and regaining my human soul, I've realized the gravity of the crime I've committed. I've realized how important everything was. Everything I've thrown away in my pursuit of power.
With great power comes great responsibility. And today, as a practicing lawyer, I would like to break down with you how many and what crimes Vergil committed in the 5th game. Let's go. First, we need to define what counts as a crime and what doesn't. Let me clarify right away. Killing demons does not count as a crime. The DMC world is a separate world with its own laws and order. In our world, however, there are different legal systems: civil law, common law, religious law, customary law, and mixed systems. Since we do not have specific information about the legal system in the DMC world, we'll use the legal system of our own world in general as a basis. No matter where you're watching this from, certain things are crimes almost everywhere, whether it's murder, theft, or corruption.
Corruption is not bad.
Based on this, we will rely on universal legal principles. So we've clarified that, now we need to define what we will consider a crime. First, it must be committed either by Vergil or his demonic half, Urizen, since Urizen is the primary offender in this game. Second, it must be considered criminal worldwide. Third, it must be committed against humans or their non-human allies like Dante, Nero, or Trish. Usurpation of power in the demon world or killing demons we count as a good deed. Fourth, depending on the situation and intent, one action may be interpreted as multiple crimes. We'll go in chronological order.
Order in the court!
The game opens with a massive tree in the middle of Redgrave City, the Glyphoth. This is our first compound offense because it is immediately a full-scale invasion of the human world, large-scale destruction of property, and shortly after, mass murder. Promising start? Almost forgot. Then this is a tree and it was planted illegally because Urizen didn't have permission from municipal authorities. This is also illegal planting of greenery. Illegal cultivation from day one. In the throne room, Dante, Lady and Trish confront Urizen. Urizen sits on his throne as if nothing is happening, easily deflecting their attacks. Honestly, I would like to count this as a self-defense since they came to him and not the other way around, but that's not the case. This is part of an ongoing invasion. They are defending their world, Urizen is the aggressor. After defeating the trio, Urizen tries to kill Dante. That's attempted murder. He then beats Nero, and here I will count it as causing grievous bodily harm to the protagonist, because just look at the condition Nero is in. And again, attempted murder. If it weren't for Dante's shot, we would have lost dead weight. Moving on, breaking the rebellion is destruction of someone else's property and it hurt fan base.
Emotional damage!
A small flashback. Vergil arrives at Nero's garage. We don't know whether Nero owns or rents the place, so as much as I would like to count this as trespassing, I won't. Only facts. In the next shot, Vergil rips off Nero's arm, and again this is immediately several crimes. Vergil is really a master of committing multiple things at once. This is straight up mutilation, causing grievous bodily harm resulting in severe consequences in the form of disability of the character, theft of property, and actually instead of theft we could have said self-help justice, since Yamato originally belonged to Vergil. He even mentions it.
I'm taking this back.
But instead of politely asking, the guy just decides to rip off his arm to hell. Next we see Urizen when Nero once again decided to demonstrate his incompetence and get squeezed in his tentacles. Again, attempted murder. It seems he likes it. And once again Dante saves his nephew. That is in the present time. The past is shown, namely the beginning of the game, where Nero has already left with V, and Dante fights Urizen alone and loses. Urizen again does his favorite thing, attempted murder, but Trish saves Dante. Dante cannot win, and here the game reminds us that it was made in Japan. Urizen wraps Lady and Trish in tentacles in order to turn them into living batteries for Artemis and Cavaliere Angelo. Welcome a new type of crime: illegal kidnapping, unlawful imprisonment, and labor exploitation. Nero defeats Artemis and frees Lady. Dante deals with Angelo and frees Trish. The exploitation ends there. Then Dante technically defeats Urizen because he retreats, and that's a new crime again: being a pussy. Just kidding, moving on. The next scene where Urizen is shown is the mirrored room where the apple of discord grows, the fruit of the Glyphos. Here it becomes clear that the city of Redgrave suffered losses precisely because of this fruit, which was also grown illegally, illegal cultivation. Let's not forget that the fruit is made from a huge amount of the residents' blood, which means desecration of corpses and essentially genocide. Finally, this horrible criminal is defeated and the Alpha and the Omega appear. Vergil. Here it must be said that Urizen and V achieved what they wanted, and the violent takeover of the human world is already secondary, therefore all physical actions of Vergil will be evaluated separately. Vergil defends himself, but instead of not exceeding the limits of necessary self-defense, he strikes Dante in the stomach, committing battery. Then he crosses blades with Dante, strikes his brother in the leg and intended to strike his body but hit the sword, which is also regarded as causing moderate bodily harm.
Thank you, Nero.
You're forgiven.
But wait, now we will uncover another truth. Failure to pay child support. Now this is unacceptable. I can understand mass murder of non-playable characters, but not taking care of your child, that's too much. While Vergil is reflecting at the top of the Glyphos, Dante fights V's familiars, which technically are part of Vergil. But we do not count attempted murder of Dante from their side because they are currently independent. Here's proof.
Oh, the wise guy Dante. We were spawned from Vergil's abominable thoughts. But you knew that already.
Come to think of it, I did know something was off. Just like with my old brother.
Well, we're merely the discarded thoughts from when he was Nero Angelo. No longer bound in his consciousness. We're here now to kill you of our own free will. Liberating! And kill you we shall, Dante. Us, not Vergil.
Finale. Dante versus Vergil. Vergil fights Dante again instead of talking things through. More battery. Most likely one would have killed the other here, and it would have been a repeat of the third game if not for Nero, who in his new form arrives right at the moment of the final strike. Next, the fight with Nero. Exactly a fight, because Nero doesn't intend to kill Vergil, and Vergil in his current state after the battle with Dante is not capable of it. Therefore, we will count this as causing minor bodily harm. Although stabbing your son with Yamato doesn't look great in court. Finally, Vergil is beaten and he says, that.
But if those roots continue to spread through town, it'll just interfere with our business.
Implying that Urizen was the bad one and that the glyphosate wasn't really his intention. Nice try. Then Vergil gives the book to Nero, but if there are no child support checks inside, I don't know whether we forgive him for that or not. In the post-credits scene, we see the Sons of Sparta going to cut down the illegal tree, and maybe for the illegal cultivation we will forgive him after all. But now, knowing the noise he caused in the town, did he go to hell of his own will, or was it an attempt to avoid criminal liability? By the way, escaping responsibility in some countries is also considered a crime, so Vergil will need a very, very good lawyer. However, law is not only about punishment, but also about motive. Whether he fled or sought a way to start with a clean slate is a question each person must answer for themselves. If you like this breakdown, let me know in the comments whether you forgive Vergil or not, and don't forget to subscribe because there will be more content like this. See ya!
Adios, kid.